Let's have a spa day. Welcome back to Sweetie Pie Pets. Today's video is dedicated to the comment of the week, which comes from Amy Jo. And Amy Jo says she's enjoying the videos right now, especially during this self-quarantine time. I'm sure it's kind of boring for a lot of us, and so it's really fun to find interesting things that we can do with our Sweetie Pies. So Amy Jo says that she, for the very first time, is going to have to give her Sweetie Pies a bath. Because usually she just takes them to the groomer, or she has the groomer come to her house. Now that she is practicing shelter in place, she is having to groom them, trim their nails, give them baths, trim off any dingleberries, and all of that fun stuff all by herself. So today, me and Wesley are going to demonstrate his spa day. Wesley, are you a dirty boy? Now, please bear in mind that I am not at all a professional groomer, but, you know, I've had Chihuahuas for many, many years, and so during that time, we have definitely had some experience with bathing and trimming nails. Before we get started, however, I wanted to share a couple more art submissions that we got. By the way, if any of you guys want to submit drawings of your own Sweetie Pies, please send them to me at art@sweetiepiepets.com. Today, we have this adorable drawing from Trish Trainer in Edinburgh, Scotland. Thank you so much, Trish, for submitting your adorable drawing. I think it was right along the same style as James's drawing of Margot, which, as you know, won the competition here at our house. So Trish says, no dog was harmed in the drawing of this picture. Thank you so much, Trish. I loved your drawing. I thought it was awesome. You and James definitely deserve to win the competition. Our next submission comes from Jane. Look at this adorable drawing that Jane did of her Sweetie Pie. And she also did this really neat calligraphy Sweetie Pie pet. So I thought it was super stylish. Jane, you are definitely more talented than I am. You can look up Jane's Instagram at JT_JamesDesserts. All right, let's go give Wesley a bath. So I have my sink full of water. Now, of course, Wesley doesn't really like water, and Chihuahuas are not good swimmers. So typically they're pretty afraid of water, and I don't really want him to be scared. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm talking nicely to him. I'm using my inside Sweetie Pie voice and just kind of trying to make him feel secure. I'm just gonna kind of lower him in slowly. What do you think of that? Wow. Hi, sweet handsome man. So I don't want to get his face wet, so I'm just going to kind of wet his fur and, you know, of course, talk softly to him all the time, let him know everything's okay. We're just going to try to wet every part of him except for his face. We don't want to get his face wet. You can get a little bit of the back of the head. That's fine, but you just have to think about it that any part of him that you put shampoo on, you have to rinse it really, really well because you don't want any soap to be left behind. So obviously I do not want to run any water over his face because it'll go into his eyes and his nose and his ears. So I'm not going to put any soap that would have to rinse down over the front side of his face. All right, now that he's all wet, we're going to go ahead and start with our shampoo. Wesley. Ooh, that smells so nice. I'm just going to put a liberal amount all over his thick fur and start lathering it up. What do you think about a bath, Wesley? Okay, for the back side, sometimes, especially with the long coats, they get a lot of dingleberries or Klingons on the back side when they're going number 2. It's just sort of the nature of having long hair. So if it's gross to you, you might want to put a glove on for this part. And you're definitely going to have to lather it up a few times. And if you have more dingleberries, you may even have to take a pair of scissors to get the remaining parts out even after you lather and rinse. Okay, so I lathered up Wesley one time and I tried to get off, you know, the backside as good as I could. And then I drained out my dirty water. He's still got a little bit of soap. We're actually going to lather him one more time. And then we're going to rinse him really, really well in clean water and see how he is then. You want some clean water, good boy? As long as he's in there, I want to keep checking the temperature, make sure that it's not going to burn him or make him cold or uncomfortable. I want him to feel perfectly comfortable because baths are fun. Wesley, baths are so fun. Okay, so I have successfully lathered him up really, really well twice already, and I'm draining out the soapy water, and I'm just going to rinse him in the sink just with the clean water coming out, making sure continuously that it's a good temperature, not too hot, not too cold, and also making sure that I get everywhere You know, some of the places that might be more difficult to lather or to rinse off would be under the neck. So I'm just gonna kind of put his head up, talking softly to him, making sure he doesn't jerk his head around and get his nose or eyes under the water. I don't want him to get soap in his eyes or inhale some water accidentally. And just keep on rinsing it until he's all rinsed out really, really thoroughly. Now that he is all rinsed off thoroughly, I'm just gonna wrap him up in the towel and give him a quick cuddle right now and tell him what a good boy he did. Oh, Wesley, what a good boy. Look how clean you are. Are you so clean? He's so clean. He's so clean. You smell so nice. So first we want to make sure that he's all dried off before we put the mist on. I try to do the majority of it with a towel just because the sound of a hairdryer can be kind of scary to your dog, especially if they're not used to it. Now Wesley here, he is kind of used to it because I have bathed him many times and used a hairdryer on him. One thing you want to keep in mind if you're going to use a hairdryer is that the hairdryer gets really, really hot and it will burn your own scalp and it will burn your sweetie pie's skin if you're not really careful. So most hairdryers have a heat setting. Woo! I just got wet. My hairdryer has a heat setting that's 1, 2, and 3. You can have it all the way over on cool, which isn't really going to dry him very much because it's actually pretty cool. So I like to put it right in the middle on number 2. Some hairdryers don't have a hair setting at all or a heat setting at all, and I'll show you how to deal with that. You want to make sure that he's not upset. You want to make sure that he sees what it is, and he's used to it. He knows it's going to make a sound. I like to turn it on kind of away from him at first, on the lowest setting so it's not too loud right up front, and then just kind of put it closer and closer to him slowly. Wesley, what is this? Now what you can do is you can keep your hand in between the hairdryer and his skin. To me, that's the easiest way to make sure that you're not burning him, because I'm going to burn my fingers before I would burn his skin, as long as my fingers are in between the hairdryer and his skin. So I start with just my hand in there. I don't even use the brush at first, just to make sure that I'm not burning him and the temperature's good. Typically he likes this because it feels good. It's like a big scratch session. Ooh, is that nice? Ooh. Once we get pretty dry, I'll go ahead and involve the brush. Okay, so now that Wesley is all completely washed and dried and brushed out, hi, you're clean and you smell so much better. Now we're just gonna take some scissors and I'm gonna make sure we don't have any dingleberries or any last minute cling-ons that just kind of we're having a hard time coming off. And sometimes you'll find them that just kind of stick on to the long hair around the anus, and if so, I just kind of trim them off a little bit if it was something that wouldn't wash off. But his look like they all came off just fine and we don't need to trim any hair down there. Another thing that sometimes groomers trim is just sort of the hair underneath their feet. Some Chihuahuas get a lot of long hair that grows down here and it kind of tends to grow up and look kind of funny. So if you have a pair of scissors, or you can even use a pair of razors, you can just kind of trim the long hair down here. Be careful that you don't accidentally cut the pads of his feet though, because that would definitely hurt. Got to make sure it's nothing but fur. And then our last little grooming is just to trim his nails. So for this, we want to be able to see well. So I put my glasses on. And you want to just kind of pull the hair back so you can make sure you get a good view of the nails. If you're lucky enough to have a dog with white nails like Wesley does, then you can see where the quick grows out. The quick is the pink part. That's where he has nerves. And you want to make sure that you don't trim beyond the pink part. You just want to trim the tips off. He's a good boy. A lot of dogs have anxiety when it comes to trimming their nails. They don't like it. And it's just one of those unfortunate things that you got to do about once a month just to keep them nice and short. So now he's all clean. We're going to put on his bandana and see if he looks like he just came from a professional grooming job. Hello, handsome, look at you. You're so beautiful. Lastly, I'm going to try this, which is called a bath fresh mist, and it's kiwi and mango scent. And I bought this from Life's Abundance, and I'm really excited to give it a try. Hopefully it will help him to smell a little bit nicer. Just gonna shake it up a little bit and mist it on his fur. Oh, it's okay, sweet boy. Ooh, it smells yummy. Kiwi and mango. The perfect finish to a bath, or it's great between bath freshener. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're all having fun sheltering in place with your sweetie pies and hopefully finding fun activities to do at home. I'll see you guys next time on Sweetie Pie Pets. Bye. Say bye, Wesley.